probably overdressed for practice today. It was cold yesterday, or chilly. Probably wore too many warm things, but anyway, I thought we had a good day. The last 3 Wednesdays, we have changed how we do things a little bit. We used to do our fundamental work, and then we would do team run. Team run, and then we'd have some scout work, and then we'd go ahead and go pass skill against the defense, offense versus defense. Then we'd have another little bit with the scouts, and then at the end we'd finish with 11-on-11, offense versus defense stuff. But then one day we had weather, and we were trying to beat the weather, so we went ahead and did all the fastball stuff 3 in a row. We went team run, scaly, 11-on-11, right in a row. Knowing if the rain came, the weather came, we could go inside and get our scout team work. And it just turned out to be really good. And we got the fastball in, everybody did a great job. And we tapered it down, took our pads off, and finished the day. Just working scout team stuff, mostly mental work. And I think it probably gave them a little better chance of recovering on their legs and stuff. So decided to do it last week, did it again today, and I think I like that routine. We may keep doing that for a while here, but it's a good day. So you guys can ask whatever you want.
Was yesterday the only full pads day?
Yeah, Mondays we've been going full pads, and part of Monday has been to scrimmage with some of the young people that haven't had a chance to play a lot. And this Monday I chose not to do it.
Should we draw the line to the injuries and everything?
Wasn't so much injuries. It was just that when you're carrying a helmet, and shoulder pads. It's just added weight to your legs and stuff. And I like to do things as a team. So even though a lot of the guys that have been playing on Monday don't scrimmage, and I know that there may be 70 guys we know aren't going to scrimmage. But I don't like part of the team in shorts and helmets and part of the team in shoulder pads or full pads. I want everybody unified. So everybody was wearing the pads or nobody was wearing them. And this Monday, I didn't want to carry all that weight around because we're hitting a stretch of so many games in a row where we want to, bless you, we want to have some juice here as we go the best we can.
You mentioned earlier this week that you may give Gurley some straight ahead running today.
Yeah.
Were you able to assess it?
Yeah, well, I wasn't watching. As a matter of fact, I kind of saw, by the time I looked over there, he was kind of walking off the field. I talked to Ron about it, and he did okay, but he's not ready to practice right now.
Is there an update for his status then?
I'd say about the same. I'm not going to count him out because he is progressing. He is getting better. If I say he's out now and on Friday he feels real good, then I would look kind of foolish. So, he's rehabbing. He's getting better, but not good enough to practice today.
So he just did running kind of before practice, you're saying?
It was during practice.
He didn't take part in the...
No, he did not take any reps.
If he is indeed not going to go Saturday, who would you say the third string running back is at this point?
It's a good question. We're working Karemplis, Harton, and AJ. Probably have to just figure that out at the end of the week. But those guys they all need to get reps and make sure they know what to do.
It has to be a tough decision with the red shirt on AJ right now.
Yes and no. I think he'd be all for it. I really haven't sat down with him, to be honest with you. But the other coaches have been talking to him the last few weeks, and he seems to be excited about getting reps with the ones and twos or whatever reps he's getting right now, and he doesn't look like a guy who's bummed out about a possible opportunity. He seems to be a guy who's kind of anxious for it, so that helps.
What did some of the injuries do to kickoff return? I know Justin Scott was handling some of those. Have y'all made a decision on that yet for this week?
Right. Well, we've had who's the Davis?
Reggie.
Reggie's been back there the last little bit. so he'll be there. It won't be, obviously it won't be Justin, but we were kind of phasing him out of there. We were liking what Davis was doing, and we rep, who else do we rep Sheldon Dawson, I'm trying to think, JJ, we rep JJ, could be any of those guys.
Mark, is your expectation level for the defense different now than it was, say, 5 or 7 years ago, given how offenses are doing these days?
Not really. I mean, I think year by year, you just got to know what you're working with, what you're dealing with. I mean, there was a different expectation going into last season than there was going into this season. I think there's 9. I think I counted them up, and I think there's 9 guys in the NFL today on rosters, maybe injury reserve, whatever they are. Did y'all count them up?
No, that sounds about
I think there's 9 because I'll go. Sanders coming,
Yeah.
the 2 safeties,
Well, 7 drafted and then.
7 drafted,
Yeah.
and Avery made a team and has been playing some, and Kwame.
Yeah.
So that's 9. Was Brandon Smith drafted? I can't remember.
Free agent.
He's free agent. Okay. So the 7 that drafted made a club one way, shape, or form, and then 2 free agents made it. So 9 guys, are on that playing on the NFL with the NFL now. So we're learning. We're growing, and sometimes growing is painful at times. So I'm not saying we're enjoying every bit of it, but we also have to understand that it takes time. And again, I know it sounds like a broken record, and maybe people don't want to buy into what I'm saying, but a big part of defense is to get them into those third down and mediums and longs, and then you got to win those. And you got to get off the field. If teams are moving the ball in such a way that you can't stop the run, you can't slow it down. Every first or second down, they're already getting another first down. If we don't even get them to third down, other than a third and short, then I'd be really, really concerned. And not to say I don't have some concerns, but we've been doing a really pretty good job of getting them into those third down situations. We just must get them off the field. And there's been some, like this last game was a little unique in that Tennessee's playing from behind, or at least playing with the mindset that they better score touchdowns, or they may not be able to win the game. So a lot of going for it on 4th down and things of that nature. Of course, that stomping penalty that we had, that'd have been one stop right there that may have kept some of the drama out of the game. I don't know. But
Did you ever get clarification on that?
Yeah, we basically the rule is that if you make any movement, whether you're in the neutral zone or not, that's not normal defensive procedure. If it looks like it's designed strictly to get somebody to jump off sides, if they jump, if they flinch, you're the cause of the flinch, and the penalty's on you.
Wow, that's the old days. You could get away with that. I mean,
Yeah.
it was employed regularly, right?
Yeah, but I
So
think
you got to
I
be
think the
set
same
on
thing
defense.
Yeah, well, you can move around all you want, and even like if your defensive line stems from we call a movement a stem, but if you're in a 3 technique which is just outside of the guard, and you shift down quickly to inside the guard or over the center, if you're shifting to a different alignment, that's considered a normal thing. But if you're just trying to do something either by your action, your movement, or by your voice inflection defensively, if you're just making a noise to try to get the guys to jump, and the referees think that you're the cause of it, then it's against the defense. Where I guess it's very similar to back in the day. You might have a QB under center, and he might just not only use his cadence, but just move his head real hard and fast and try to get him to jump. And they've kind of outlawed that, where the quarterback can't do that to try to get the defense to jump. It's the same kind of thing. It's just can't remember the last time I've seen it, and for it to be so crucial, it was a little tough to swallow. And you see guys doing that a lot, but if the defense doesn't flinch, no one says anything. So I mean, Steelers might have been doing that for 4 years, and somebody finally flinched. which was bad.
Did you actually see him flinch when you went back and looked at it on tape?
What's that?
Did you actually see Blake flinch when you went back and looked at it
Did
on
I
tape?
see him do the little stomp?
Yeah, did you
thing?
see
Oh,
it?
yeah, he
Okay.
did.
I couldn't. That's what I was asking if you
I
just
saw him
it or
do
not.
it when he did it.
Okay.
Is that what he was
Okay.
trying to do? He was,
But I was right there on the
Yeah.
neutral zone. I
Okay.
try to stand on the neutral zone.
Okay.
Because if I see them in the neutral zone, I want to help the official, you know. And so, I mean, I saw him do his thing, but he was not in the neutral zone. So I thought we were good. We're golden. I'm like, we're good.
Yeah.
Because you know, I always thought it was if you're in the neutral zone, if you're in his space, and you cause him to move, that's a penalty. But whether you're in the neutral zone or not, if you make an action that's not normal defensive play in the official's mind, then it's against you. So that's what happened.
Has Quavo practice this week?
Yeah, he did. He did all day today.
I just wonder when he got hurt because he was out there in overtime.
Yeah, I think sometimes after the game you just get something that sore. You know, you might, I don't know if it was a knee or ankle or a bone bruise or I don't know what it was, but sometimes your adrenaline just allows you to go, you know, and then Sunday you come in and you're like, this hurts a little bit more than I thought, and something more like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he practiced today.
Hey, on the teleconference, you ended up talking a lot about the punt team, but for the season, because you were saying there's been a lot of positives on special teams. In general, what would you give a grade on kind of overall special teams play to this point of the season?
Not good enough. You know, you kind of asked the question properly, really, in my opinion. There's been some catastrophic plays. You can't have those types of plays. But even, you know, I was talking about the punt team. You take the two really catastrophic plays out, we've been excellent. We've been better than good. We've been one of the best in America. But you can't do that. You can't take that out. It happened. It's just like the kickoff return. Most of our kickoffs and our coverages have been excellent. Most every one of them. But you get one that scores a touchdown and you get beat. So that's been the main problem. You know, has there been a lot of excellent things happening? Yeah, a lot of excellent things. But you just have one catastrophic play, and it makes everybody forget all the others. And again, the best part of it is, you know, we did have the one snap that we couldn't get the ball down against Clemson. I mean, that play, you know, you could say had something to do from special teams point of view. That hurt us as far as the final outcome. The other ones hurt just as bad, and maybe were more catastrophic, but by the grace of God, it didn't cost us the game. But you can't live that dangerously, and we got to get better.
How much of a boost is, I guess, just emotionally knowing that Michael Bennett has a chance now to get back this year instead of being gone for the season?
That's good. And my best guess, I'm not a doctor or anything, but just from what I'm hearing, you know, my best guess is he's got a really good shot at the Florida game with his the scope that they cleaned up the meniscus rather than had to repair it. They trimmed it up.
On the special teams, Gary Pinkel, they do the same thing as you guys in terms of divvying up the duties among different groups, and they've had good years like you all have had good years. And people say, oh, you need a coordinator. Is it too simplistic? Does it come down to whether an assistant, a particular coach is doing a good job with his unit?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you split it up or give it to one guy. The bottom line is you got to get the job done. And you know, everybody knows who's had issues that we can't have them anymore. We gotta get better. Everybody takes that personally, and everybody's working hard at it. And like I was saying on a conference call earlier, you know, you gotta say, well, what is the answer? Well, sometimes it's personnel, sometimes it's scheme, sometimes it's execution, sometimes it's a little bit of all those things. And like the first punt that was blocked was really more of a schematic error. We made an error. We did not have everybody in sync as far as who had who, and that's what cost us. more than anything else. The second one, we could have fired everybody, but we're like, no, let's keep trying to get better, and you got to make any decisions. Not to say there weren't decisions on personnel, but you got to make some decisions on personnel, and then you make sure you're handling everything as far as the scheme's concerned. Correct that, and we had corrected that. Every single time since that time we have had the right call on. Everybody's been coordinated. And everybody was attempting to block the right guy. And then this last one was more of an issue of not fundamentally getting the job done well enough. And so you got to go back to getting that scout team revved up and running full speed and blasting into that shield. And you try not to do that Tuesday and Wednesday and Saturday all year long, because it's a very physical play. It's a physically demanding play. So it's just like a tailback. You could scrimmage every day and practice breaking tackles every day of the week, but is that really wise? You can't just do it every day. So you got to try your best to simulate it without it, beating people down. But if you don't get the job done on Saturday, you're going to be doing it on Tuesday. I can promise you. It's kind of that kind of thing.
How are your wideouts look this week?
They're doing fine. I think that I'm pleased with their just assignments, I guess. They don't look lost. They don't look like. It's not like we're starting from scratch with Erdman and Tibbs. Tibbs has played a lot of flanker, and Erdman's played a good bit at different positions, but I think they're going to know what to do, which is real. That's where you start. And they've gotten coached a bunch by Coach Ball in the past, and it's not like taking two brand new true freshmen that thought they were going to be redshirted and throwing them in there. So I feel good.
What has Tibbs' progression kind of been since he's been here? Just because,
Right.
You've had a couple non-scholarship guys in the rotation, and Blake's kind of.
Yeah. Well, I tell the guys all the time, there's a difference between ability or capability and dependability. And there's guys that are capable, but you got to be dependable. You got to be dependable on the field, and you got to be dependable off the field. And that's what we're looking for. Because when you become dependable, you become a consistent performer, and you can earn the trust of your coach. And that's what he's been, fighting hard to do. And he made a lot of progress. Okay, he made a lot of progress in the fall in camp. But we had some numbers. We had some other guys that were, we felt were in a better position to make that top 6 or 7 or whatever we've been working with. But he was moving in the right direction, and now with some of these injuries, and now his opportunity is here, and he needs to. Here's a wonderful chance for him to show Coach Ball and Coach Bobo and myself that he can be a dependable performer.
Coach, just curious, are you the type, like, whenever your team experiences what you guys have experienced this year, to reach out to other coaches and kind of get some advice, or maybe even other coaches come to you during the season on how to deal with certain things?
Every once in a while, I haven't gotten a hold of anybody, but every once in a while, you get a text from somebody, or I might see I might be watching a game of a guy that I know, and I might text something to him relating to what just happened on the field or something. Not in any way, shape, or form correcting anybody or giving them advice, but just saying, I feel your pain or whatever. Sometimes it's a tough job, and so every once in a while I'll do that, or somebody will reach out to me, but not a lot.
Next question.
Chris Conley, just doing a feature on him, kind of guy he is off. I know so many things are impressive about him. What stands out the most?
He's the poster child for dependability. He's maximizing, in my opinion, every gift that God gave him, in his physically, mentally. He's not perfect, but he certainly he seems to try his best on every single rep in practice. He seems to care very much about school. He cares very much about the leadership position he's been put in on the SAC committee. He takes his position as a veteran and a leader very seriously. I mean, like even right now, I mean, he's just constantly got, you know, Reggie Brown next to him, and now, you know, now Tibbs and Erdman, and every chance he gets, he's trying to help those guys know what to do and everything. He cares about team. He cares about people. He's an awesome guy. And I'll say this about him. I really think a lot of it stems from how he was raised and his faith. It's very impressive.
Thank you.